Palm Beach County has a rich history of Black judiciary. Several Black judges have blazed the trail for our Black jurists who serve Palm Beach County today.
I've been truly blessed during those breakfasts, it's usually breakfast time, to connect and befriend Judge Baker, Judge Brunson, Judge Cunningham, Judge Taylor, and Judge Stevenson, all of the retired judges in our circuit, as well as on the 4th District Court of Appeal. I consider them to be my friends and now my mentors. They've always deposited wisdom and understanding, as well as just giving me sage and sound advice, and I've appreciated that in my life.
The legacy of the Black judiciary in Palm Beach County began with the appointment of Judge Edward Rogers. In 1973, then Governor Reuben Askew appointed Judge Rogers to serve as a county court judge, making him the first Black judge in Palm Beach County. He was then elevated to the circuit court bench in 1977 and served with distinction until his retirement in 1995. Judge Rogers was an extraordinary jurist and community leader. During his 22-year tenure on the bench, he served as chief judge and administrative judge in both the county and circuit courts.
To meet Judge Rogers and Judge I.C. Smith, who went out of their way to try and speak to any Black attorney who wanted to talk to them. They would talk to us and encourage us, and if we had problems, we could even come there and speak to them. It was like having a parent there to go ahead and encourage you and to correct any mistakes you were making and to help you to succeed. And that really was the role that they played. They encouraged us to succeed in our job. And so Judge Rogers and Judge I.C. Smith were on the bench when I came in. And then Carol Taylor and Matthew Stevenson, they both were on the bench after that. Carol Taylor is another one, open door policy, ready to encourage you. That made a huge difference to me. And then finally, Judge Cunningham, Judge Brunson, before I actually became a judge. These people have always had a way of encouraging us to be the best we can be.
As you may be aware, there are two ways to become a judge: appointment by a governor and running a judicial campaign for election.
My road to the bench, I think, is a little different than most. Early in my life, I played football, and my goal was to play football in the NFL. So in high school, I worked hard and trained very hard to that end. I earned a scholarship to play football at the University of Florida, where I continued to work hard with the hopes and dreams of playing in the NFL. But like many, I fell short and didn't make it. So then I had to decide to do something different, and I chose to go to law school. Because I was a football player, most people didn't think I could get accepted into law school, let alone graduate. However, I got accepted into Southern University Law School and did very well and graduated. Then I went on to earn a master's degree of law in tax at SMU Law School. And from there, I took a job with the federal government as a tax trial litigator in federal court. And so during my career, I was approached by some who said, you have a very good temperament and you're very knowledgeable with the law. I think you'd make a very good judge in the federal tax court, which was my expertise. But that would require me to move to Washington, D.C., so I chose the state court route and was appointed by the governor in 2006.
I actually went for the election. I did it twice. The first time again, I didn't know what I was doing. I just went in it and got 16,000 votes, and I thought, oh, great. But of course I lost. The second time I did it, I was prepared. I had a campaign manager. I went around and I made all the connections that I needed to with the officials and stuff, so they knew who I was. And I got a lot of endorsements because people got to know me, and I really, really loved the experience. It's grueling. but I loved it. You get to meet people, the people who put you here. And one of the values of going through the election process is because you are reminded that you're here to do a service. It's service for those people. And that's what we're all about. It's service.
In 1984, former Governor Robert Graham appointed Judge Maurice Hall to the Circuit Court bench. 2 years after his appointment, he ran uncontested to keep his judicial seat and remained on the bench for a total of 5.5 years. During his tenure as governor, Governor Graham appointed a few Black judges to the Palm Beach County bench. He understood the importance of diversity on the judiciary. So why is judiciary important to the bench?
You need to reflect the community that you're from, and it helps in the perception of justice, not just the pursuit of it.
It's not really just about what you do in the courtroom, but it's about what you're doing off the bench to ensure that we have a justice system that reflects the greatness of America and the beauty of everything that we are.
In addition to the previously mentioned judges, Governor Graham also appointed Judge Isaiah I.C. Smith to the bench in 1986. Judge Smith was a civil rights pioneer who, prior to his tenure on the bench, fought alongside with other Black legal pioneers, attorneys William Bill Holland, F. Malcolm Cunningham Sr., and Thomas T.J. Cunningham Sr., to successfully integrate the county's previously segregated institutions, such as the Florida Turnpike's rest area restrooms, Palm Beach County Public Schools, the West Palm Beach Municipal Golf Course, and the Palm Beach County Bar Association, respectively. Judge Smith served on the bench until 1992. It should also be noted that Mr. Holland was the first Black attorney and the first Black municipal judge in the county.
It was never my intention to become a judge. I wanted to be a really good lawyer. I went to Howard University School of Law, and they take a great deal of time in telling you, before you earn all that money, you really need to remember you're a social engineer, that you have to go out there and fight the fights that no one else wants to fight. To that end, I started out in the public defender's office. Now, I will say my parents from a very early age started me out in a lot of community service work. Girl Scouts, the high school they enrolled me in was 4 hours per week in community service. So I already had a sense that in order to lead, you really do have to serve. And so when I went to the public defender's office, I had that energy in me. Let me hit the ground running. And I really enjoyed my work there. I felt like I contributed, like I helped people out.
The legacy continued with Judge W. Matthew Stevenson, who was appointed to the Circuit Court bench in 1989 by former Governor Bob Martinez. He was later appointed to the 4th District Court of Appeal in 1994 by former Governor Lawton Chiles, making him the first Black judge to be appointed to this court. He served as its chief from July 1st, 2005 until June 30th, 2007. Judge Carol Taylor was the first Black female judge to serve on the 4th District Court of Appeal. She was appointed by Governor Chiles to serve in 1998. Judge Taylor first became a judge when she was appointed to the Broward County Court for the 17th Judicial Circuit in 1991 by Governor Chiles. In 1995, she was elevated to the Broward County Circuit Court, making her the first Black female judge to serve on the court. She retired from the 4th District Court of Appeal in 2020. In 1993, Judge Cherie Cunningham was appointed to the county court bench by Governor Chiles. She was the first Black female judge in Palm Beach County and served until her retirement in 2020. Following Judge Cunningham's appointment, Judge Moses Baker Jr. was appointed to the Circuit Court by Governor Chiles in 1994. While on the bench, he presided in both the civil and juvenile divisions and retired in 2017. Governor Chiles also appointed Judge Catherine Brunson to the Circuit Court bench in 1994. She was the first Black female attorney to practice law in Palm Beach County and the first Black female to be appointed to the Circuit Court bench. Judge Brunson retired in 2018. Serving on the bench is a huge responsibility, but it is extremely rewarding.
Understand that the job is hard. All of the circuit judges here work extremely hard, long hours, working weekends, working early in the morning, working late at night. The job is also a 24-hour-a-day job. So even though you leave the courthouse, even though you leave the bench, you're still on duty. People are still looking at you. People are still watching you. And you are still representing not only the 15th Circuit, but all judges throughout the state and the nation. So it's an overwhelming responsibility, but it truly also is one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had.
There are currently 6 Black judges serving Palm Beach County. Judge Deborah Moses Stevens was appointed to the county court bench in 2000 by former Governor Jeb Bush. She was recently reelected in 2020 with opposition. Judge Reginald Corlew was appointed to the county court bench in 2006 by Governor Bush as well. He was recently reelected in 2020 without opposition. Judge Simone Rowe was appointed to the circuit court by former Governor Rick Scott in 2016. Judge Bradley Harper was elected to the county court bench in 2016, making him the first Black attorney elected without being previously appointed by a governor. Judge Maxine Cheeseman was elected to the circuit court bench in 2018. Judge Cheeseman is the first person of Jamaican heritage to serve on the bench in Palm Beach County. Lastly, Judge Renatha Francis, also of Jamaican heritage, was appointed to the circuit court bench in 2019 by Governor Ron DeSantis. Prior to her service in Palm Beach County, Judge Francis was appointed to the Miami-Dade County Court in 2017 by former Governor Rick Scott and subsequently elevated to Miami-Dade Circuit Court in 2018. The legacy should not stop here. It is extremely important that we encourage diversity on all levels of our judiciary. Diversity on the bench is beneficial to our legal and general community as it, 1, fosters public confidence in the courts, 2, gives decision-making power to formerly disenfranchised populations, and 3, promotes equal justice for all citizens. Also, each of our Black judiciary have a unique perspective that benefits our overall judiciary. We encourage those who are seeking to become judges to continue the legacy.
I would tell young people, don't let others define you. And when you begin your practice of law, develop an extremely good temperament, be very courteous to others, develop good writing skills, and be compassionate about the law, because these are the qualities you'll be measured by as a lawyer and when being considered to be a judge.
We have a responsibility both on the bench and off the bench to begin to understand and have discussions about our justice system, what it is, and what the promise of America, the American justice system, should be.
Make sure that you're persistent. And not only persistent, make sure that you are also surrounding yourself with people who can help get you to the goal. Say persistent, the road to the bench is twofold. You know that you can either run or you can go through the appointment process. My experience has been with the appointment process, and I can tell you that the very first time, a lot of people don't know this, but the very first time I applied to be a judge, I wasn't successful. It was for county court in Miami. I understood at that time that I had something that I think was, needed. Miami-Dade, despite its large, diverse population, had only had about 2 judges, 2 African-American female judges, at the time that I applied.
We thank our rich legacy of Black judiciary in Palm Beach County for their service to our profession, the community, and for their contributions to the bench.